When I was a kid, I loved movies, and I would go to the movies every weekend. I would see like 100 movies in the theater in a year.
Where would you go to the movies?
Bangor Mall cinemas, like Bangor Cinema 10, I think it's called now. I did have it all worked out how I would go to one movie and then sneak into a second movie. So, and I had everything down, like how I could get free popcorn, how I really had everything figured out.
Thankfully, the statute of limitations has expired and you're no longer liable for those transgressions.
Yes, but yeah. And then I would also drive because I would want to see movies that wouldn't come to Bangor. So I would drive to Boston to see a movie. I would drive to Bar Harbor to see a movie, or Western Maine. If something was playing in a theater, I would drive to just go see the movie.
A little over a decade ago, you two together worked on a documentary about the troop greeters in Bangor called The Way We Get By.
Welcome to Bangor. It's just a good feeling. You get addicted to it. You can't give it up.
Welcome home, guy. I appreciate you. There's cell phones in there, videos, talk all you want. Call somebody up, make them happy, ugly, or honey.
That film really, for a small, modest documentary, really put you on the map as filmmakers, didn't it?
Yeah, it absolutely. It broke us out as serious filmmakers, but also emotional storytellers. That was kind of the thing that we became known for.
Were you surprised that you were able to make such an impact with that film?
I mean, yes and no. Yes, in the sense that nobody in the film industry wanted anything to do with it, because we would tell them about it and they would say, oh, troops and elderly people, no thanks.
My life don't mean a hell of a lot to me, but if I can make it mean something to somebody else, that's my endeavor.
So we knew that there was an audience for it, but we knew we had to kind of find that audience ourselves. Like Hollywood wasn't going to help us.
It's a big leap to go from making a modest documentary to making a feature motion picture. Your new film, Queen Pins, is a dark comedy, and that in itself is new territory for you guys. What sort of a response did you get when you started to pitch the idea of, we want to make a comedy? What did people say to you in the film business?
When we submitted our script to our talent agents, they literally were shocked. They're like, we didn't know you were funny. And we're like, well, now you do.
All right, boys, lock and load. So what are we dealing with here? Gun runners? Drug dealers?
It's two women who are counterfeiting coupons.
This feels like a lot. You don't think we're coming in a little hot here, boss?
We tend to find ourselves funny, and we realize that if we found the story funny in this absurd world of coupons, other people would too.
Are you guys couponers yourselves?
We
you get the Sunday paper and clip the coupons out?
We may not go all in the way they do in the movie, but we've certainly used coupons. My mom was a huge couponer.
I love a good discount.
Coupons aren't about what you buy, it's about the feeling you get. They call it the coupon high. Supposedly it's better than intimacy with another person. Or so I've been told.
Sorry, have you not used a coupon, or have you not had sex?
What happened?
Once you got the script written, did you say, yeah, this is good, we can make this work?
You know, the true story that it's sort of inspired by isn't necessarily filled with humor. Like the real women were probably kind of hard criminals at times, but the world itself of coupons and postal inspector SWAT teams and all of these things just felt so absurd to us. They were like, oh, it should be a comedy. And
I'm talking bank accounts, credit cards, a stash house, and aliases.
Could you say it all again and like much slower?
And do you have like a pad just to write it down? No, get out. Okay, we don't wing it, but we got it.
We had spent 6 years really struggling, trying to get our movies made. We would keep going into meetings for another project that we had, Crook County, which had a $25 million budget, yeah. And you know, the financiers in the studios would say, well, we'd love to finance this, you've got a great cast, but you don't have value. And
we would be told to our face over and over, like, well, you guys don't have any value in the industry.
Yeah.
That's pretty blunt.
Yeah. But also, it didn't really hit us until recently that then the response was we wrote a movie about these two women that felt undervalued, that figured out a loophole in the system to find success.
What would you guys say to each other when you're driving home in the car after a meeting at which you've been told you don't have any value?
I mean, it's definitely a frustrating experience, but to do what we do, you have to believe in the work that you're creating and believe that you are the storyteller to be able to tell that story. So we never stopped believing in ourselves, and we knew at some point it would be the industry that would have to awaken to us.
As filmmakers, you're constantly going in and pitching stories to financiers, trying to get them to give you millions of dollars. Like, you're going to get rejected a lot. You just have to get used to that.
Yeah, but 4 weeks ago, we changed our value. We sold queen pins for domestic sale. That was the second largest domestic sale in history. So that all of a sudden allowed us to have more value.
This movie has the opportunity of taking you guys to a whole different level in the filmmaking world. How do you feel about that, about becoming, in effect, A-list writer-directors?
I mean, I don't really like lists, but to us, it's just like, can we keep making movies?
Well, even if the movie and you become wildly successful, I hope that you'll still come back and talk to us in our 5-star park at our 5-star picnic table.
Absolutely.
We absolutely will.